I said, it drops after about an hour. Let's ask me if I want to add a yes. Are we there? Alright. I'm just going to go for a little bit longer, then I'm going to stop. I know it's starting to get late. Well, I just got done with the part on the soul, but I'm not sure when the feed dropped. So I'm going to say the last couple paragraphs. The saving or losing of a soul has to do with whether or not the moral consciousness attains survival status through eternal alliance with its associated immortal spirit endowment. Salvation is the spiritualization of the self-realization of the moral consciousness, which thereby becomes possessed of survival value. All forms of soul conflict consist in the lack of harmony between the moral or the spiritual self-consciousness and the purely intellectual self-consciousness. The human soul, when matured, enabled, and spiritualized, approaches the heavenly status in that it comes near to being an entity intervening between the material and the spiritual. That's what I am. The material self and the divine spirit. The evolving soul of a human being is difficult of description and more difficult of demonstration because it is not discoverable by the methods of either material investigation or spiritual probing. Material science cannot demonstrate the existence of a soul. Neither can pure spirit testing. Notwithstanding the failure of both material science and spiritual standards to discover the existence of the human soul, every morally conscious mortal knows of the existence of his soul as a real and actual personal experience. And once again, I'm sorry the feed cuts after about 59 minutes. So when it drops, just be patient, please. I will be sending the videos out, and I'm trying to comply with FTC and COPPA rules. I'm going to stop with the lessons for right now. And I want to comment on what I'm going to start doing. Father wants me to do a little short daily thing. No music, just check in somewhere around the midday, talk for about 20 minutes, and stop. Just try to help calm fears, and to try and help you understand that you're all very high level divinity potential. You're all supreme beings. A lot of times when people set their minds to something, they can make anything happen. And when you pray, even if you don't feel anything or hear any angels or God trying to talk to you, it doesn't mean that it's not having a positive effect on you. Every time you pray, you power your spirit body up. So if you need a little powered up because your spirit's a little funky, pray. Doesn't matter what you pray for. Pray for goodness, or pray for healing, or pray for sunshine in your life. But do it for positive things, and live and breathe positive. I know it's very hard right now because everybody's cooped up. They're getting, cabin fever. But I told everyone early on, distance is important. I didn't know they were going to go 6 feet. From my experience and research, it's more about 2.5, 3 feet. But I would rather people be on a more cautious side because closeness is the avenue that it travels on, and that what the creators of this stuff, and it was created by man. There's no natural markers, and there's all kinds of CRISPR protein aspects around this. It's 96% the same as SARS and MRSA and all those others. So it has to be built up and run around the world several times. You all that have recovered will have a residue of the disease in your body that has gotten outside of the bloodstream. There's a small amount of leakage of cells into that. And when the thing comes around again, it looks for that tiny little amount, and when it sees it, then it activates and grabs it. as this thing cycles through animals and humans as it's been done, it's picked up a lot of energy. So it is very smart to stay a distance from each other. Doesn't mean you can't help people that are sick or worry about every little one as far as touching them. It's when people are sick, you got to look at it. This is a modified cold, but it's been modified with some really nasty stuff. So you have to treat the situation as a very severe cold and don't let it travel around the world multiple times. Just like that lady said on the podium next to the president, the blonde lady, she mentioned that there would be more and they would try to cycle around again. You have to watch for this. And I'm very impressed that there's going to be an antibody test. And that is going to tell you a lot. It's going to tell you whose antibody level's higher than normal. Anyone that's higher than normal is part of this plot of genocide. Yeah, they're called eugenics. They believe in population control. It's a hideous concept. Even Tesla, who I respect highly as a scientist, because I am too, he even talked about it, like the lower forms. Let me tell you something. In God's eyes, the spirit energy that's inside of each one of you is exactly the same, no matter if it's a bum laying on the street or some high-level CEO that's trying to manipulate everything. Let me tell you, people, it's judgment time. Now that I'm here with the Holy Trinity, those that are guilty of such heinous crimes will face God's judgment. It won't be by me, because I don't do that. But if I find the guilty and the information that I know being led by Father and Jesus, who's inside everybody and knows all the little dirty secrets, yeah, you'll be found guilty. And God's going to be coming for you. So I ask everybody to repent for their wrongs, raise your hands up and be lifted out of this darkness. Because I can do it just by talking to you and not confronting, giving divine love as I was told. Because that's the ultimate power. That's how you win in a battle like what I'm in a war that I'm in a rebellion that I'm in a quarantine. I can't even get out. So the dark ones, they're doing this with these mutated proteins. Father's coming for you. And he knows who you are. Now I'm very serious about what I am and who I am. I am no joke. I have healing powers in my hands. I can lay hands on you and heal you. I have crosses he gave me in my hands. He changed my eye color from hazel to green. And I will be here for over 1 million years as an immortal creature, teaching and leading the way to a new heaven. Now, Father, because I am the fragment, is with me constantly. Especially this situation is so crucial. Now, you can choose not to do this and go home, just drink a beer and watch TV the rest of your life. Perfectly fine. You don't have to be an ascension master or gain your supreme being powers or work for God or any of that. I will respect will of choice. Just don't choose to do evil anymore, because that's where I draw the line when people try to genocide 6.5 billion people. Not on my watch. I'm spiritual sovereign of this world. I'm not a temporal sovereign. I don't want anybody's money or anybody's land. I am here to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth as a physical kingdom. Because I'm going to make an ascension school, just like Father wants me to make. And I'm going to start training ascension masters. I know that my personal life doesn't look like what a son of God would be. But I had to dig through the dirt just like everyone else to know what it's like. And I have sacrificed my personal life to an extreme. I'm poor, I'm broke, don't know when money's coming. But here I stand, doing my job for God and protecting this planet and everybody on it. And don't think that I don't have powers, because I do. I only wield things when Father instructs me to do as He wishes. Now, there'll be a lot of leniency to the situation here. And I'm going to defend, like I said, will of choice. You don't have to be part of this. But Father wants everybody's input on how the kingdom will be put together and how you guys want stuff. Eventually, you'll all be self-governing, because your consciousness will raise up. You won't have to be babysat by anybody. And see, that's something that a certain top-level people just don't like. And they've known about me for a long time. They're planning and doing all kinds of stuff. And as soon as they saw me start to rise up on this site, that's when they got worried. Let me tell you, people, I have the mantle for the planetary prince. And I have the mantle from the Father fragment, which makes me the connection from the spiritual world to the physical world. And Father and Brother Jesus comes upon me. Jesus comes upon me as the Spirit of truth. And there'll be times where you'll be able to experience me, and I allow myself to be spoken through by Father or Jesus. And let me tell you, they are not playing around. They're both extremely pissed off. And let me tell you, you don't want to have to deal with upset deity. I myself have to be non-confrontational. Just sitting here telling you the truth about yourselves. I know a lot of truth about temporal stuff, but I'm not getting into that. Besides, temporal situations are very critical right now. I've tried to be very informative on Twitter about the research that I've been going through for the last month. Now, I'm not normally a hematologist, a parasitologist, into quantum physics like I'm doing with Rodden coils and vortex concepts of plasma. Yeah, cold fusion's a really strange character. And I'm very close. I'm sure a lot of people don't like the sound of that. But God is making me do this, and I do what I'm told. I'm a servant of God, a humble one. I am the seventh son in the house of Melchizedek. I am Makaventa Melchizedek, commander of all the angels in this universe, archangels and regular ones. But now I am to be a songbird and a voice to bring your consciousness up to par. I know that a lot of people think that I'm not the conventional thing. I'm not. I'm not the begotten one. I'm not the number one. That's Jesus. But I'm taking up his mission. And I've already established the kingdom of heaven, the Trinity of light. Keep in mind, I'm a Trinitized son. I've been touched by all three members of the Holy Trinity of this universe. And this is a pivotal point. So, stay tuned. I will give a daily thing sometime in the afternoons, I realize that my stuff has been late, but I'm a moon child. So Father wants me to do some kind of daily thing, talking to people, trying to calm people down, let them know they got back up here. And I gave everything I am to this, so all I ask is that you listen to me. Just listen. Don't have to believe. But once you have the information locked into your spirit, you'll see things will start changing. Slowly and surely. And I'll go through the epochs that are happening in the future of how this evolution goes. And when you see how smoothly this can be, you'll be surprised. Now I know they've said, oh, there's going to be an Armageddon and end of times. That's a load of bull. You've been living in Armageddon ever since you killed Christ and sent the world into hell. It was already a rebellion, but that really sent it. And it wasn't going to pull out until somebody volunteered to go in where nobody's gone before. That's me. They said I was crazy or just brave over the top. But I'm not afraid of death. This is just merely clothing on me. I've lived 7 lifetimes here. I know I don't die. As long as I'm working for God, I will never, ever die. And now He's made me immortal. So you're going to see me stay here in this form. I look about 50. I know my age is 64. But I look about 50, and I will look like this for way over 1 million years. Can you dig that? So I hope everybody's ready for a whole new thing. And really, there's not going to be much confrontation. He says that 95% of you will gain your supreme being level of knowledge and power. See, Father needs His children to go off and seed His new heaven, but under good ascension master supervision. Yeah, the days of rebellion are soon to be over. No mortal will ever suffer like this rebellion has. And I know that a lot of people felt really abandoned by God, like He wasn't paying attention or helping. He was waiting for even the evil ones to change their mind and make it right. He gave extra time to this, which kind of made it rough on a lot of people. But there are a lot of reasons why things are done, and I don't question. I just follow. I'm not going to debate anything I say, but you can ask me questions about things, and I'll respond, but I'm not going to debate. I don't have a reason to. Father tells me and directs me, and so does Brother Jesus, and Mother Mary helps me with the music. Not always does the music have some pertinence, it just works for me. A song will work for a person. Everybody that sings knows that. Some songs just don't work for you. Most of the music I've done really hurriedly. I barely practice any of it. I was a little bit rough tonight because my voice is not as good as it can be. It goes and comes and goes in cycles, you know how it is. Sometimes I've got it really on target, and sometimes I'm just not quite as up to the top. But I can sing different female voices and different male voices, and I think that's kind of interesting. And now I'm getting a chance to really do it. I used to be in a band called Fire and Ice back in the 80s. Had a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I have great respect for any artist. It's a lot of work. And I had to set up our equipment and tear it down and then go to work the next day. So I know what those 4.5 lounge hour acts are like. But even at that, the band I was in, we packed a house. We did rock and roll. We weren't doing anything that was popular, even though the agent said that we should. And I told him, I said, I got to do stuff that I absolutely love, because if I'm going to do it every day for who knows how long, I better really love it. So the songs that we picked back in those days, people just loved it because they're the kind of songs that always get you going. And some of what I've been doing is like that. I am doing some newer stuff with Ari, and I think it's really fun. And I hope, and I'm looking forward to the day where I get to see her in person and sing with her on something. It's been suggested a collaboration, but I know that things have been held up on a lot of levels because of this disease. And you gotta understand that this disease has like a 20 to 24 day cycle about it pans out. They really don't know the length of the ones of some certain people that don't show signs for a long time period. And that's where the mystery is. So I suggest that people lay low, like everybody's telling them, because less interaction, there's less spread. If it doesn't spread all the way around the world several times, it'll never work. And you'll thwart this madness of genocide by eugenists. And I think we all know who they are. They're pretty apparent. And I see now that a lot of these very rich people are swarming around everything like it's going to be a feeding frenzy. Like Warren Buffett's telling everybody, oh yeah, it's going to be a real market to buy up everything. You kidding me? That's what you're thinking? That's what got us into this mess, is that kind of thinking. Dominating everything. Those days of doing that coming to a close, people. And it doesn't matter what happens to me. Father's already got it in motion. I'm merely a pawn. You gotta understand, this is being done on purpose. It's not a joke. You tamper with genetics like that, and you're gonna tip nature, and it'll never come back. Don't mess with the genetics that are here on this planet anymore. I warn any of those that do such things. Father will stop it. I ask that the humans do this on their own accord. No more playing around with mutated proteins that can change genetics. You are going to mess the balance up. These genetics are made to balance together. And there's a lot of them here, so it's a lot of balancing. You start playing around GMOs and CRISPR-9 proteins and start changing things, you'll no longer be of the house of God. And you don't want to find out what it's like to be cut off from God completely, because you're not of Him. Look at the Greys. That's an example. And they are so out. You want to know what the Greys are? They're us in the future. And they skirted time way too many times. Yeah. All time travel backwards has been cut off. There's no more jumping around things. Father's made sure of that. And your timeline is messed up big time. Now comes the correction. And it's going to be gentle, because I'm not confronting. The Father is coming against the guilty. And I suggest that they stop what they're doing, repent and ask for forgiveness. It's for all, light or dark. And let me tell you, there's some dark stuff. You ever heard of light eaters? Yeah, they used to be human. They look like human, but they're not human inside anymore. you have to eat of the light to stay alive, you're not human anymore. And there are light eaters out there that will not only feed on your spirit, but they'll feed on your flesh and your blood. And don't kid yourself, there's a lot of top people that are exactly like that. And this nice little antibody test is going to show who's who and what's what. And I suggest Kirlian real-time photography be used also. You'll see disruptions in the spirit easily. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Father knows who they are. So does Jesus. And they're coming for you. And I'll sit here in my little house like a pawn while they go forth. It's time to change things back to light. Just like Ari said, the light has come to give back what the darkness has stolen. And with that note, I end my show. This is Kevin, the 7th son of God, planetary prince and